Alright, so I'm going to get some work done on this John Deere. I kind of cleaned it up a little bit. But first thing I'm going to do, see how loose that is. The bushing on this wheel is just totally gone. Hopefully it didn't ruin the axle any. But this side, you can still see it jiggles back and forth. It's not near as bad as the other side though. But I've done this before, so instead of putting a bushing back in, I upgrade it and put bearings. There'll be a bearing on each side of the wheel. And you slide it in there. They last a long time, and it rolls really smooth. So I'll show you. I'll take this off, and we'll take a look and see how bad the axle's been worn down. All right, you ready? Yeah, good girl. All right, so let's take this wheel off. You can see it's just that C-clip that's on there. Whew. I don't know if you can see that. I can feel it up here. It doesn't look that bad. I mean, I can feel a ridge underneath here. There is a huge ridge right there where it's just really been eating away at it. Okay, so with these tires, you can see this gets popped out. You got to get in with the screwdriver, and you feel the ridge right there. And get a little hammer or whatever, and it'll pop one side out. Then you do the same on the other side. Grab it and slowly pop it out. So this might work. It's an old screwdriver that's been through hell anyway. And I'll get a little hammer. Alright, let me get it from this side so I won't cast so many shadows on you. This can be a bear sometimes, but so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to dislodge this bushing. But it's being a bear, so I'm going to be hammering away at this. I might get a bigger driver and a bigger hammer here, but you get the idea. Alright, I finally got them out. You see, I had to move a step up and hammer and chisel here and beat the crap out of it, but you can see there's the bearing on each side. Where they come out, and I believe it was there's your petcock valve, or zerk fitting. What am I talking about? There's your zerk fitting, and I believe it went on that way. Yeah. But anyway, then here's the set of bearings. 2 on each side. You just put two on each side of the wheel, and then right and left. So let's see if I can get this open. My hands are all slimy from the axle grease. Yeah, so each one has a ridge. and you just tap them in like that. Yeah, that one went in no problem. But what I also like to do, just to make sure there's enough grease packed in there, let me show you what I do. So I usually take a pin like this. You can get anything, a little sharp object, whatever, a toothpick or whatever, to get down in there. But you can pop these covers off. Just be sure not to damage them. There we go. So you look on the inside, and I can see there's some grease in there, but I just like to really pack them in. Oh. So that's what I do. I just pack them with grease like this. Yeah, I just like to make sure there's plenty in there before I put them on. Then of course after you put them on, you can still put pack a lot of grease in there. There you can see there's a bunch still in there, but there's the zerk fitting. But these are sealed, but sometimes they just don't put a whole lot of grease in them. Let's get the other one. Alright, so these are well packed. They slide right on. Get some of this off my hand. Make sure they're in place and you just slide them back on. Don't forget your washers. And remember, this one had some big ridges on there, so I might have to go in there and file some of that down. But that's what happens if you let it go too far. Yeah, it's kind of deformed on the bottom side. I don't think that's just going to slide on there anymore. No. Let me get a file, smooth that out here on the bottom, and try to clean this axle up a little bit. Don't want to take too much of it off, but this one just has such a huge ridge underneath. There it goes. Pop that bearing out of there. Alright, that's on. Let's put the washer back on. Clean it up a bit. Tap it in a little bit. It's not seating far enough where I can put that clip on. And almost got it. Kind of fumbling here. You can see what I'm trying to do. You can see the ridge. And this isn't quite. I think that's got it. Let's see if I can pop the clip back on. Yeah. Believe that's got it. Make sure that, yeah, that's it. So now you can see it's just barely any movement, but it rolls really nice with those bearings on it. So that's how you do the upgrade. And I recommend doing it before your bushings wear out, because it's not just the bushings here that's wearing. It's your actual axle in there gets worn down when these things start to get cockeyed. And you see the way it was jiggling, the whole tire was jiggling back and forth. You're actually wearing down your axle inside on that post. So this one was almost to the point where I would just replace the whole thing. See, it just barely jiggles now, but so, well, that's it. That's how you do the upgrade. Like I said, I would do it before your bushings wear out, but the bearings, and they're fairly cheap, 15 bucks a set or so, something like that. I forget what I paid for them, 15 or 20 bucks for a set of the bearings. And well, that's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and watch for my next video. All right, you ready?